Let me know in the chat whether you guys can hear me or not. And we'll be starting shortly. Okay. All right. So if no one has played, I'm just going to go over the rules very quickly. We're going to have 3 rounds, and each round is going to go over 2 shows because it actually is split perfectly. So there's 6 shows that we're going to be covering. So the first round is going to be WandaVision and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So that's what we're going to start off with. Yes, everything is perfectly balanced. It turned out like wonderful. The first question of this round is going to be a practice one, so you will not be losing any points. There are 10 questions in this round, and the quicker you answer them, the more points you get. Okay, so I think that's basically everything, so we're going to go ahead and start the first round. Alrighties. And I do have an image for you guys to show with this. So, there we go. What was fake Quicksilver's real name? Pedro. Pietro. Okay, and like I said, this one is for just practice, so no points will be lost. Is his fake name Ralph Boner, Jamie Borman, Evan Smith, or Jake Blake? And I can see that everyone basically got this one right. And the correct answer is, how do I draw this one? Sorry, it's been a while since, there we go. It is A. Okay. Now, we're going to go on to question number 2. And like I said, this one is going to actually count for points. So it is 15 points total. So the quicker you answer, the more points you get. Does someone need help getting into crowd for I can like, one second. Let me see if I can like really quickly copy the link into there. Okay. I put it into the chat, so if anyone's looking for it, it's down there at the bottom. And let's go on to question number 2. So this one is, what is the name of Tommy and Billy's dog? It's a really cute little scruffy looking thing. And I think there might be a lag as well, so bear with us. All right, so these are your options. Is it A, Lucky, B, Spot, C, Max, or D, Sparky? Okay. And the correct answer is, I think everyone got this one right. It is Sparky. Okay, so let's go to question number 3. Which thought experiment did Vision use to make White Vision stand down? And I have a gift for that one. They kind of mentioned it and talked about it. I know this series is a little bit ago. Some people might have watched it more recently and it might be fresh in your mind, but these are your options. Was it A, Prisoner's Dilemma, B, Ship of Theseus, C, The Beetle in the Box, or D, The Experience Machine? And we have a split, half and half. Okay, so the correct answer is actually B, Ship of Theseus. Okay, and I'm just answering the chat. Binging is probably the way to go for these. So let's go on to question number 4. There is a certain street in WandaVision that people can't go beyond. And I do have a gift for this, but it would kind of give away the answer. So, what is that street called? Is it A, Ellis Avenue, B, Winchester Drive, C, Stark Lane, or D, Vision Street? All right, and it looks like we have some people who did get it right. This is the gift. If the correct answer is A, Ellis Avenue. Okay, this next question is going to be our halfway point, and it's the last question for WandaVision. Which was not an ad for the commercial break on WandaVision? And these are your options. Is it A, M perfume, struck B, Strucker watch, C, Lagos paper towels, or D, Hydro Soak bubbly bath powder? There's one of them that. Oh, and I was able to stump some people with this one. I actually have a picture first I'm going to show you guys. Um, oh, I think it might be too big because it shows you the top part, not the other ones. But the correct answer and the one that was not a commercial break was the M perfume. I know it is like the House of M, so it was a story, but it was not in the commercial breaks they had for it. Okay, so since we are at the halfway point, let's go ahead and see where everyone is ranking so far. In first place, we have Baby Sloth, 4 out of 10 correct, so 48 points. Then we have in second, The Watcher. 3 out of 10, 37. Third place, we have Louise, 1 out of 10. And fourth place, Gator Loki. And we in fifth place, JH, with 0 questions answered. Um, okay, so let's go on to question number 6, and this one is actually going to be for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Oh, Louis. Yes, there's more rounds. Don't worry about it. This was just the halfway point of this round. So this is the end of the questions for WandaVision. The next questions are going to cover Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Okay. So starting off with the first question of that show, what is the name of Sam's family boat? And these are your options. Is it A, the Wilson, B, AJ and Cass, C, Paul and Darlene, or is it just called D, Wilson Family Boat? And whoever was that one person who did answer it correctly, I have the picture first. It is called Paul and Darlene. So the correct answer was C. So let's go on to question number 7. What is the name of Zemo's butler? And you can see a picture of him. Maybe that'll jog your memory a little bit. And these are your options. Is it A, Novi, B, Ozenik, C, Oleg, or D, Einrich? I cannot pronounce these, so I probably butchered quite a few of those names. Yes. Okay. And I'm just going to take a peek into how everyone. Oh, we have kind of a split going on. The correct answer. Oh, no, wrong one. The correct answer is B. And in the group chat, everyone's just talking about how loyal that butler is. And you know what? It's true. He stayed, he waited. It kind of reminded me of like, if you guys have seen Downton Abbey, the butlers and people there are like hella loyal to their people. So, same thing. Yes, like Alfred. Let's move on to question number 8. What does GRC stand for? Bad guy Alfred. A little bit more intense, violent. And so let's go on. These are your options. Is it A, the Global Reuniting Council? Is it B, Global Representation Corporation? Is it C, Global Repatriation Council? Or is it D, Global Restitution Corporation? Okay, and we actually had one answer for each of those. The correct answer for this is the Global Repatriation Council, which is C. Let's go on to question number 9. There was a bounty put on Sam, Bucky, and Zemo while they were out in Marjapur. How much was that worth? Or how much was the bounty they put out? Was it A, $1 million, $2 million pounds, 2,000 Bitcoin, or 8,000 Bitcoin? And yes, someone just shouted the answer in the group chat. It is one of the Bitcoin ones. They were getting with the times. I was actually surprised when they put it on the show because I was like, oh, very modern of them. But it was 1K bounty, Bitcoin bounty. So a thousand Bitcoins, which I guess is a lot. I don't really follow the Bitcoin thing, but yeah. So this is going to be our last question for this round and the last question for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. How many vials of the super soldier serum did Dr. Nagel make? I don't know if it's Nagel or Nagel or I don't know how to pronounce. I'm like terrible at pronouncing words, but maybe to jog your memory. And these are your options. Is it A 15, B 20, C 10, or D 30? Okay, this one we have a few options. The correct answer was 20. He made 20 vials of the super soldier serum. Okay, and in the chat, Erica so graciously is converting how much the Bitcoin thing. So 46 million dollars is what 1,000 Bitcoins would have roughly been around that time, which is a little bit excessive, I think. Okay, since we're done with this first round, I'm gonna go ahead and show the leaderboard again. There's gonna be second round, which is going to be going over Loki and the What If episodes. So, as of now, first place, we have The Watcher answering 6 out of the 10 correctly. We have in second place Baby Sloth with 5 out of 10, followed closely by third place Gator Loki answering 2 of the 10 correctly. All right, and then you guys don't have to do anything. I'm going to go ahead and move us on to the next round. So your screen should change. All right, it should be showing the Loki and What If. And I'm going to start it. I think we lost like maybe possibly 2 people. Hopefully they find their way back to us. So let's begin. So we're going to start off easy. What does the TVA stand for? Again, these first 5 questions are going to be about Loki. Is it A, Times Vigilant Army, B, Time Variance Authority, C, Time Variation Authority, or D, Time Variance Army? And the majority of you got this one right. I do have an image to show first. So it's a little bit cut off at the bottom, but I think we all know which one it is. It is B, the Time Variance Authority. And I'm just looking at the group chat. Everyone's talking about Alligator Loki, Frog Thor, and that they're gonna go eat Newt Scamander. Love the fandoms. Okay, so let's go on to question number 2. Which hunter was kidnapped by Sylvie? It was in the very beginning. And these are your options. Was it A, C20, B, B15, C, D90, or D, A23? Ooh. So everyone answered one of these each. But I think there's only one person that got this one right. A23 was actually the head girl. I forgot her name. I feel like I'm talking about Harry Potter, but it was the head honcho, I guess you could say. The correct answer was C20. She was the one that was taken first by Sylvie. That's her right there. All right, let's go on to question number 3. Where does Loki first meet Sylvie? Is it A, in Lamentus 2077? Is it B, Oshkosh, Wisconsin in 1985? Is it C, Pompeii, Italy? Or is it Haven Hills, Alabama in 2050? So, again, the question is the first time that he meets her. like actually meets her. Um, and he does meet her in Lamentis. Well, not really meet her. They end up together there. That was kind of your little clue. I think we all remember the episode. And it was in Haven Hills, Alabama. So let's go on to question number 4. I'm going to show you a picture of a Loki since there's so many variants of them. And then you're going to decide which one, what's his, like, what Loki is this? The picture is a little bit small. Hopefully you guys can see that. You might have to squint. Okay. And these are your options. Is it Rock Loki? Is it Boastful Loki? Is it Pokey Loki? Or is it Rave Loki? All right. There's one person that's like on top of these. Um, is Guardian version of the Wizard of Oz Scarecrow Loki? No. Um, his name is actually Pokey Loki, which I think is like one of the most bizarre names ever. I would have thought Rave Loki or even Rock Loki would have made a lot more sense. So let's go on to question number 5. What is the flaming sword Kid Loki gifts Loki? That's true. Nothing makes sense when it involves Loki. Okay. These all have like some weird names, so I might butcher them, so bear with me. These are your options. Is it A, the Laufey B is the Leviathan? C is it Uru? Or D, Eargram? And I think mostly everyone got this one right. Because the correct answer is B, the Leviathan. I think is what it's called, if I'm saying that correctly. Okay, so we are on question number 5, which means this is our halfway point and the last question of Loki. So I'm going to go ahead and show our ranking. For this round, we have in first place The Watcher with 3. In second place, we have Jamie. And in third, Baby Sloth. Okay, so let's go on. The questions 6 through 10 are going to cover the what if episodes. Yes, Gator Loki. I don't know what happened. 0 out of 10. Sad, sad. All right. Which fast food chain restaurant is Peter Quill seen working at the end of episode 2? So, to jog your memory, it's T'Challa they end up taking, the Ravagers take instead of Peter Quill. He ends up actually still living on Earth. And these are your options. Is it McDonald's, Burger King, Dairy Queen, or Dippin' Dots? And it looks like basically everyone got this one right. It is, in fact, Dairy Queen. No, don't know what that was about. Yes, C. Because, Dairy Queen always finds out. All right. Here is another question. What is the Watcher's name? I see that we had a player whose name is the Watcher. So hopefully you know your own name, Watcher. So is it A, Ikor? Is it B, Uatu? Is it C, Aaron? Or is it D, Engu? And okay, we got a good split here. Before I show the real answer, um, in the chat we are just someone just talked about Chadwick Boseman. I actually want to see if maybe they can do it without T'Challa, and then just have Shuri kind of become Black Panther. I feel like it would make the most sense. But here is the GIF I have. And the correct answer is B. Oh, yes. They did recast Ronnie and Hulk, but I feel like they weren't as a what is that word called? Like I don't know. They weren't as I don't know. When they recast Ronnie from like Iron Man 1 to like to it someone else for Iron Man 2, honestly, I was just kind of like I actually didn't see the change. I think it just wasn't like too big of a prominent character for me. But T'Challa, like Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, is immense. And I feel like maybe no one would want to take over the mantle just because you would be constantly being compared to um like Chadwick. And I don't know if that's possible. I mean, I would be scared as an actor, because he was amazing. That's true. He was okay. So Mark was what is his name? Yeah, Mark Ruffalo was cast as Hulk, but I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't even seen the first Hulk because in my head it just kind of like glossed over, and it's just Mark Ruffalo. And I feel like quite a few people maybe just didn't see the original Hulk. Yeah. Sorry, you guys, I did not see the original Hulk. I just kind of was like accepting of Mark Ruffalo as it. Sorry, you guys. We're gonna move on to question number 8. I know I'll end up watching it at some point. So, question number 8: which original Avenger was not killed by Hank Pym? And in this one, I have a picture for you. It is when Hank became the evil one and the actual Yellow Jacket. Okay. And these are your options: A. Steve Rogers, B. Natasha Romanoff, C. Tony Stark, or D. Clint Barton. Yeah, and I mean, everyone got this one right. The only Avenger of the original Avengers that was not killed by Hank Pym was Steve Rogers because he was still under ice. And so let's go on to question number 9. Which Avenger is just ahead in the zombie episode? I have a picture, but if I show it to you, everyone's gonna know. Hope Evans comes back. I'm just looking at the chat right now. Um, Chris Evans for Captain 4. I actually want. I think it would be so funny if they brought Chris Evans back, but he was Flame On. It'd be so much more fun, I feel. I don't think he's gonna do Captain America again. And honestly, I kinda want Sam Wilson to play with it more. 'Cause I think he's great. It's all about Sam now. I love Sam. He's I don't know, anyways, I'm getting way too carried off. Here are your options for this one. Is it Bruce Banner, T'Challa, Happy Hogan, or Scott Lang? I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys sit with that. I keep looking at the chat. I don't know if Chris Evans wants to. Like, don't get me wrong. I miss Captain America by Chris Evans. Loved him so much. Um, it'd be cute to see him kind of do like a little cameo. I feel like that's something that might be more up his alley, but I feel like he's not going to reprise his role for quite a bit. Okay. And since we are done there, everyone basically got this one right. There's a little GIF or a little picture, and it is Scott Lang, D. Oh, and now we're talking about Secret Wars, if that's where it's heading. Um, we'll see. I hate, okay, and hate zombies. Honestly, I didn't. I didn't care for this one episode. I think it did give me the heebie-jeebies for the zombies, and it's one of the reasons why I didn't watch The Walking Dead because the zombies just I just couldn't get into that. Yes. I keep like looking into the chat because if you guys are like watching the YouTube one, I'm looking at the chat thing, which is very exciting. So let's go on and go on to the last question of this round, which is question 10. And it is the last question for the What If show as well. Um, what is the name of Killmonger's original combat drone project? And I do have an image. I just need to look at it really quick. Okay, just to jog your memory, there is the picture. It's where he actually saves Tony Stark. And here are your options. Was it A, War Machine, B, Liberator, C, Freedom Fighter, and D, New Age? And I'm going to agree. I did not, this one was not my favorite episode either. If anything, I think my favorite one from the What If was probably the Doctor Strange one. But it looks like we have a split in this one, and the correct answer was actually Liberator. That was the drone project. Finding all the ways to kill Tony. Honestly, yeah. Like, I feel like he dies in everything. Like, that man cannot catch a break. He's always just, ugh, terrible. I'm gonna be honest, Party Thor episode was not my favorite either. I think if I was gonna rate them, it was Doctor Strange first, and then mm, oh, Ultron. Like catching up on this chat, everyone is like very much engrossed in there. And needed breather, possibly. I don't know. Yeah. All right. We're going to go on to round three, and it is our actual last round, and it's going to cover Hawkeye and Moon Knight. For the Ultron episode, honestly, the whole thing where he actually used the stone to just kill Thanos, I was like, wow, that could have solved so many, like, could have solved so many problems if they'd done that at the beginning, but whatever. All right, so let's go on to the last round, and you guys will all be moving there, so hold on tight. Your screen should probably have changed. Oh, I forgot something to do for the other one. Oh well. I was gonna go over the ranking boards, but I was way too engrossed with the chat that I completely forgot about that. So we're just gonna go ahead and start this. So for question number one, this is all about Hawkeye. Who is the owner of the Ronin suit? Ooh, Loki is the best MCU Disney Plus show so far. Honestly, Moon Knight and Loki are top favorites, tied with WandaVision. So that's mine. And then I'll go ahead and show the options for this one. Is it A, Laura Barton, B, Clint Barton, C, Natasha Romanoff, and D, Yelena Belova? Okay, and basically everyone got this one right because it was an easy one. I gave that one to you guys. Falcon is no, I love Falcon too. They have a. I feel like Falcon was a little bit more serious. What if I don't really care for that show, so I'm just kind of like meh, whatever. Um, but yeah, the correct answer is, as we all know, B. Clint Barton. John stole the show. So let's go on to question number two. What name is displayed on the side of the tracksuit mafia trucks? Yeah, tracksuit mafia. And these are your options. Is it Bro Transport? Is it Bro Delivery Services? Is it Trust a Bro? Or is it Bro Essentials? There's a lot of bros happening around here. Okay. And I do have a GIF that will kind of give the answer anyways. It's a little bit small, but there it is. The correct answer is Trust a Bro. Yeah. And I agree. I didn't think I was going to like the Tracksuit Mafia. It's such a silly name, but honestly, I don't know. I really like them. They're funny. And it's so cute how they all were like giving each other advice and everything. I was like, love it. Okay. So for this one, what is the name Kate gives the one-eyed dog? Okay, another doggy question. And here are your options. Is it A, Lucky, B, Dog, C, Pizza, or D, Max? And there has to be a bro Loki somewhere, you know? There has to be a variant of that. If there's a cycling, or what was it, Tour de France, there should be one. Okay. Lucky the pizza dog. Yes. His name is a Lucky. Very cute, lucky dog. So let's go on to question number 4. Who does the watch belong to? The one that was in the black market. Does it belong to A, Natasha, B, Nick Fury? Is it Laura's or is it Clint's? And this one was kind of a given as well. It is Laura Barton's watch. Which I'm really excited to see more of like the backstory of like Hawkeye and like how like his little secret family is, and now we have this tidbit that he was an agent. So Tony was right. She was an agent. And yes, Florence is so very talented, so very pretty. I'm like, she's amazing. I was kind of hoping that at the end, when Clint took Kate with them to his family's like Christmas, that they were also going to take Yelena, but no such luck. It's sad. So let's go on to question number 5, which is the last question of Hawkeye and halfway point of this round. And we'll go over the leaderboard at that point too. What food does Yelena offer Kate at the burnt out apartment? Is it A, macaroni, B, ramen, C, pizza, or D, soup? Will be strange to have the woman who just tried to kill you to meet your family. True, but Natasha almost tried to kill him and she was family too. So, I feel like there's a pattern going on here. Okay, and the majority of you got this one right. So here's a little gift that it's made macaroni if you want some. Correct answer is A, macaroni. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and show the leaderboard. And this is only going to show these 5 questions. So it doesn't show the previous stuff. So in first place, we have the Watcher with 5 out of 10 points correct. Baby Sloth as well, 5 out of 10 points correct. You're only behind by 2 points, so you're almost there. Jamie, 5 out of 10, 45 points. And then we have Louise at 4 out of 10. Towerette, 2 out of 10. And Gator Loki, 0 out of 10. What's going on, Gator Loki? Okay, so the last questions are going to be covering Moon Knight. So remember back to that show that you watched. So we're going to go ahead and start off with what museum does Stephen Grant work at? Is it A, the National Gallery, B. Museum of London, C. The British Museum, or D. The Natural History Museum? Okay. Oh, so let me show you a picture there. There's Stephen Grant saying hi. He's working. And the correct answer is C. The British Museum. Funnily enough, though, where they filmed it was actually not the British Museum, but the National Gallery. But they do what they can. Yeah, and you cannot not love Steven. Like, he's precious. Cinnamon roll that must be protected. Okay, so let's go on to the avatars. Who was Amit's last avatar? And if you need a refresher on who Amit is, she's that alligator lady. Is it Selim? Is it Alexander the Great? Is it Yatsil? Or is it Senfu? Okay. People were able to get in there just out of the wire. Everyone knows this one as well. Its last avatar was Alexander the Great. So let's go on to question number 8. What was the name of Mark Spector's little brother who tragically died? And I think I have a picture right there. Purposely didn't look into Moon Knight at all. I went in completely blind to the character. As did I. I had no idea what to expect from Moon Knight. Yeah. But I will say this, I was very pleasantly surprised about how well this show was. And I bawled my eyes off at this episode. So is it Steven? Is it Dylan, Max, or Randall? Mark Spector's little brother. And our time is up, so here is the correct answer. Everyone basically got this one right. His name is Randall. And the whole relationship between Mark and his mom just crushed me. Like, I could not. It's so sad. Okay, so question number 9. What is the stone figure called which Khonshu is imprisoned within? I'm going to show you a picture just so you know what I'm talking about. So, it's like that little thing. And these are your options for that question. Is it an Anid? Is it a Shapti? Is it a patronage or is it duat? And again, I butchered those names, so my bad. So we have a little bit of a split with this one. Most of you did get this one right, and the correct answer is B. I think it's called Anushapti. And we're going to go on to our last final question of the game and of Moon Knight. What is the name of Mark Spector's third alter ego who we meet in the final episode? And there's like a little gift for you guys. And these are your options. Is it James Locke, Jack Landon, Jake Lockley, or Jordan Lowe? And the majority have got this one correct. His name is Jake Lockley. Yes, I also hope they make a season two because I was absolutely devastated when they finished this. Um, like I just could not get enough. The whole thing where they ended up in the asylum and I was like, did I miss an episode? Like what happened? So, um, now that we've reached the last round, I'm going to go ahead and show the rankings first of this game. So in first place, we have Baby Sloth with 10 out of 10 correctly, 130 points. In second place, we have The Watcher, 9 out of 10 with 114. And Louise, 8 out of 10, 71 points. Yes, I also need to hear more of Oscar speaking Spanish. I absolutely adored that he was speaking something that I knew. I was going to use a Layla question, but I feel like everyone was going to know everything, so I kept it just with the main characters. Yes, I love Layla too. Honestly, she's one of my favorite people. So I'm going to go ahead and show now where everyone is ranking overall with everything. So, in first place, we have Baby Sloth, which is the winner of our game for tonight, with 22 out of 30 questions correct, 268 points. The second place goes to The Watcher with 23 out of 30 correctly, with 258 points. And then we have in third place Louise, 16 out of 30 correctly with 125 points. We are not doing Miss Marvel for this one. I'm going to actually leave. I think Miss Marvel was a little bit too new for people. Um, so I'm going to leave that for a next time, which will include like the newer ones that are coming out, which is going to be Miss Marvel, She-Hulk. Hopefully by then we have a Daredevil as well, which is what I'm hearing, which I'm hoping is actually true. Yes. I will watch The Incredible Hulk for you guys. And oh, yes. If anyone's interested, I will do the Netflix MCU shows, which were amazing and credit scene. So keep a lookout on the newsletter. I do know that for November, I'm going to be doing the newer Phase 4 movies of Marvel MCU. So if you guys want to do that, keep an eye on it for. Erica, the Netflix MCU shows are on Disney Plus, so if you have that, catch up on that. Um, yeah, and yes, I agree. Daredevil, I love that show. Punisher, very gritty. I love that one too. No, Erica, you're never caught up. You're like have to. I feel like there's always something else coming up. So, um, yeah, that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that it wasn't too easy for you guys, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun because I did. Yes. Kingpin and Daredevil loved it. I kind of didn't like him too much in Hawkeye. I feel like they made him too um, kid appropriate. I really liked him in Daredevil. So here's to hoping that the Daredevil ones end up being still gritty.